Hey guys, welcome back. Two Brothers Off Script here. I'm Ryan.
I'm Jerry.
And not since episode 1, and some of the episodes after that, have we really thought about what this all means. You know, like we've talked about it a little bit, what we wanted to do, what we were trying to produce. But really we were just thinking about what's been going on with us, and then we could bring that to other people and have some ideas on it. So this is kind of a rehashing of the old. We're not sure what we are or what we're all about, but this might be one of the last regular Two Brothers Off Scripts. Instead, we'll be doing maybe some other projects. We got some other things going on. You got a pretty crazy, hectic life right now. You're in construction, and you're in management, and you're in traffic control, and you're in basically just guiding a storm, as we all wish we could do in some cases, especially the people in Florida right now. They all wish they could give it a little nudge and get rid of that situation. But other than the craziness that's going on in the world, your life this week, as you were saying before,
Crazy. Straight up, full blown crazy. Everybody safe. Within our family, we do have a very good friend of ours who's going through a really tough medical situation right now, so we're just trying to be supportive to them. But craziness this week, worked a ton of hours, it was too much, and then we've had this thing kind of looming in the background. It was one of these projects, but I don't have to tease it. If I can get it on video, I'm going to try to get it on video, because right now my backyard looks like a disaster area. And what happened was, we have a friend who had a line to another friend of his on a full-blown Burger King play place. And I have 6 kids who are all play place appropriate size,
right,
and play place enthusiastic users and consumers. So I'm thinking, okay, I want to be organized, right? This is going to come up. This is such a wonderful opportunity. And I'm going to go in with paint markers, and I'm going to make it all, like, I'm going to hash all my lines. I'm going to number everything.
A to A, B to B.
It'll be so easy to put together, right? Because I'll have everything dialed in, right? And we got the call on Wednesday afternoon. You have to be here tomorrow morning to pick it up, or it goes in the trash.
And this is Friday. We're shooting.
Yeah, it's Friday night now. So this is not like a little thing either. This is like a 20 foot by 20 foot square, 16 feet tall mass of pipes and steel and bubbles and plastic and plexiglass and nuts and bolts. Hundreds and hundreds of nuts and bolts. I filled up 3/4 of a 5-gallon bucket of nuts and bolts, and I don't even know what they all go to.
That'd be like 3.5 gallons of nuts and bolts.
So then the second part is, if you take it apart yourself, you really kind of have an idea of what went where. And so I call my boss, and can I have it come in late tomorrow morning? We get the truck rented, 26-foot moving truck. We show up at 7 o'clock in the morning, Thursday morning, yesterday morning, and it's already halfway taken apart.
So
there's no A to A. There's
schematics?
No B to B. There is no schematic.
No plan.
I just start loading stuff as fast as I can into this moving truck, because I'm worried I'm going to be late to work. And I'm throwing stuff in here and throwing stuff in here, and I drive up the hill and throw everything back out and drive back down the hill, and now I'm loading steel pipes and columns into this thing, and we're in there, jerking this steel fence material apart. The tower... Okay, you've seen the play places where there's a tower with the cool little triangles and square cubes. It's so cute. The kids like shimmy up the side of it like a giant Plinko machine in reverse. You've seen that? So cool, right? Doesn't come apart. It's 16 feet tall, 4 foot on a side. You know how we got it down? We tied a strap to the top of it and pulled it over with a truck.
Was it mounted to the ground or something?
No, it just tipped over. You know what? That plastic is indestructible. Didn't even hurt it.
Yeah.
I don't think it even bent the steel tubes, but if it did, I don't really care.
Is it going to go back together?
I got home. I'm in such a rush. My help dude, thanks to him, I'm glad for his help, but he was on like this tight, strict deadline. It's 12:30. He's like, I've got to go. So I'm out of time. I'm already 3 hours late for my 2 hours late to work. The math is not in my favor right now. So we tie a rope to the ladder thing that we just tipped over, and I drive the truck out. I tied it to a tree, and I drove the truck out, yanked it out the back of the truck. I'm still out of time. I don't have enough room to shut the gate, so I throw the truck in reverse, slam the bumper into the back of the tower, drive it backward through the dirt 5 feet, slam the gate shut, run inside, shower real quick, drive to work, and the whole time my wife is like, it's going to be fine. You know? I'm like, have you seen our yard? So then I get off work, go to work 4 hours, get up, come back, get off work, pull everything out of the rest of the truck, all the steel, all the stuff. The kids had helped.
Oh, yeah.
My children had helped.
They love
My
help.
children threw things everywhere in the backyard. I had stuff like to like lined up next to it. So it's everywhere. So my backyard right now, in the dirt, in the dark, right now, is a disaster. There are painted plastic safari animals that was this play place that are spread from one end to Kingdom Come.
This might be our
I have
first
absolutely no idea how I'm going to put that thing back together. However, my neighbor's advice was get a bunch of buddies and buy them a pack of beer and see what happens. I don't think it's going to look like the picture on the box when I get done. I don't think.
Does it? Well, there's no box. Does it have to look like it?
No.
I mean, not really.
It's not going to get inspected. I can tell you that right now. That thing, if it gets reassembled in any form,
Well, start with the tower and then work your way up.
I'm just going to build it. I have no idea. I got some photographs, and I have a couple videos, and there's no A to A, no B to B. We just got to figure it out.
I'll have to get some pictures of this here.
Oh, and the feet didn't come with it, because the feet were like
anchored
to the ground, and we couldn't get them out. So I have no feet. So I have to either pour pieces of concrete or something to really or wood block this. I don't know how I'm going to do it.
Just round pipe.
A very stressful week. I really felt like I was in over my head.
Like anyone who got affected by this Equifax deal,
Those guys are in over their head.
That's a big deal. I mean, that's about the craziest thing that happened to me, and it didn't even happen to me. I didn't get affected. My kid didn't get affected. Don't forget, when you check, you have to check your kids. Go to Equifax.com. At the top, there's a banner. Click on the banner. Punch in your name, your social. It's just the last 6 digits. It's not like they want to give away your info, so they're gonna only the last 6, and then it'll tell you if you were affected by this breach. And if you were, there is an option to sign up for a credit monitoring service free for 1 year, which, if you accept, you cannot take action against Equifax for your data being lost
By them.
So
Legally,
you will not be part of the class action suit that will definitely happen, and you might get a $12 check in the mail at some point. If anybody's ever been a part of one of those Metro PCS deals, everybody gets a check in the mail for $3, $17, $5, depends.
the lawyers get rich, though.
You won't get access to any of that $12 fund, but you'll also be letting them off the hook for this failure. Now, it's not everybody's fault that this type of thing happens. There's a lot of bad people in the world who want to make bad things happen to a lot of other people, and your data might not be in breach right now, but don't forget to check your kids, everyone in your family that you know that you have access to their numbers, check them. But you can do what's called a credit freeze. I just heard about this today. For a $10 fee, you will have to pay per agency, because this is just Equifax, but there's also TransUnion and Experian.
Right.
But you can put a credit freeze on all 3 of these things, so it'll cost you about $30. And what that'll do is it'll stop any new accounts from being opened in your name.
Including yours, by the way. So if you put a credit freeze on your account, you have to take it back off.
Yep, you get a PIN number.
If you want to use it.
Yep, so like we're going to be going back on the market again soon for selling our house, but we're not going to try and buy a new house. But if we wanted to get a rental during that period of time, we'll have to do that. But this information is out there permanently now, so you kind of have to worry that it's not going to be safe for a very long time. So monitor your credit. I mean, if you have a Capital One card, there's free monitoring on there. If you have Chase credit cards, they got free monitoring on their Wells Fargo. All these places offer free monitoring. So don't sign up for the one from Equifax because it'll just basically cut a couple of dollars out of your wallet. But
it's strange. I mean, they've been hacked before, right? And I listened to the apology of the guy, I guess the CEO, he apologized and he was sorry.
Well, it's not like he clicked on a link in an email or anything, so it's not
what's
really
strange
him.
about his being very sorry is that he's very sorry 6 weeks after they knew it had happened.
Yeah, I'm just hearing
right,
about
so
this now.
the actual breach happened back in May. They knew in June or July that it had happened. We're in September.
So we're all in trouble.
I mean, we've seen several companies do this now where when they get hacked, Target did the same thing. When they get hacked, they just kind of
They could say they're investigating it, trying not to let
sure, they let the FBI know, but
we're the victims and they're still going to have
they're using all of us as collective bait, right? So we just let the hackers keep downloading your information, and then it turns out they're behind a proxy firewall or behind a VPN and you still can't find them, and so you just let it go on for another couple weeks, and
that information's out there now. There's nothing we can do about it.
You can't undo it.
Stop it from being the next victim when you.
Well, and you can't change your social security number just because you just feel like it.
Yeah.
You can't. I mean, I don't even think the government. Maybe they do. It'd be interesting to find out. I don't think the government's got a program that says, "Hey, I was hacked. Can I have a new one?" Right. For me, as a military veteran, all my information is tied to my social security number.
Yeah. They need to add a secondary style of.
Yeah, there needs to be two-factor authentication is what there needs to be.
Yeah, but you can just as easily get an ID.
So
they have your driver's license.
Driver's license numbers are compromised as well.
Yep.
And it's not, again, going to Washington State for us.
They give away cards.
Hey, I want a new driver's license number. I left the state. I didn't even live in the state for 7 years. I came back. I got the same number I used to have.
Yeah.
Because it's yours. That's your number. That's just the way it is. You get one per state. So your address has probably not changed that much. No. So now they've got your birth date, your driver's license number, your social security number,
for
your address.
For $14, I can run a background check on anyone, just with their name. I don't need their date of birth or anything, and it'll give me multiple people.
Sure.
In this same background check, they say, "Well, are you sure it's James A. Smith? Where was the last place you knew him?" "Oh, I knew him in Seattle." Okay, there's probably 500 of them that lived there within a period of time, and they're going to pull up a certain amount of them and get. Is this the one you meant?
Were they about this old?
And then it'll give you a ton of detail about this person, whether they're actually a criminal or not. So I've always told people this about Google, when they don't I don't want to sign up for that because they're going to get my information. I'm saying they got your information already. Your info, no matter who you are, no matter how flippy your phone is, they've got your details already because we are all just numbers in a system somewhere. It's your bank. It's your shopping card.
It's your IP address.
I don't want to sign up for the club membership. Why not save 3 cents a gallon? Why not save $5 on a chunk of meat? Because I don't want them to know that I shop here. Well, your dollar bill came from somewhere and it went somewhere else. If you spend cash, cool, but
there's limits.
There's limits to what you can do to avoid being a victim of identity theft, and it's just.
Or even to avoid surveillance, right? They've proven now, the government has this technology, and many state agencies have this technology also. It's called a Stingray. And what it does is it simulates a cell tower. So they can park outside of anywhere, and they can determine number calling to, number calling from. They call it metadata, right? Number calling to, number calling from, and duration of the call. And after you do that enough times, you know exactly who's calling who and how long their phone call was and when the call was placed and when the other call was received. And they've used that technology for years now.
Yeah.
I mean, the cell phone towers have a full dump of every single cell phone that tries to be active and connects to that tower.
Probably every...
So, like, they catch bank robbers this way. The bank robber, and I'm glad they catch them, but the bank robber is active on a cell phone, and they spot where that cell phone was active, and they spot another place that was active, and they spot another place that was active, and they draw a straight line. They're like, well, bad guy's over there.
It's fantastic to be in this age of technology, but we obviously still can't change the weather, but if we're not going to be victims, like we talked about before, it's like you got to get out of the way. You're going to be in this data storm or in this hurricane or whatever. You have to get out of the way, or you have to take preparation seriously, and the only way you can do that is by being proactive and also by monitoring your life. I mean, you can't just, like, why did you not know that the Burger King playset was going to just disappear the next day unless you got it? Was there any forewarning whatsoever?
There wasn't any forewarning in this case, because I think that they were probably one of those situations. Like, I've worked in maintenance, and I've worked with a lot of vendors, and one of the things that happens a lot of times is you're waiting for the bid to be approved, basically. The one contractor said, yes, I'll do the job, and the owner said, okay, I want you to do the job, and then you're basically in a state where you've submitted the paperwork, they're waiting for the owner finally says yes, and then you have to check your schedule, and like, okay, they said yes, we got the check, now the check's got to clear, okay, we're going to start on Monday, all right, Monday sounds good, and that's that process. In this case, we were hugely blessed to have this cool opportunity. I'm frustrated by it because I realized, even as this was happening, that I had this incredibly high level of anxiety about just this whole thing. I was unloading this actively, loading this actively, and in my brain I'm like, I don't know how to put this back together. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I cannot describe to you, you'll see it, I hope eventually, I cannot describe to you what a mess this thing looks like. Maybe I'll take some video and, put it up. It's crazy how much stuff is out in my yard right now.
Like I said,
and I was well into my treehouse project.
Which is still not quite done.
It's currently buried under a tower.
You just build a stack of parts.
Build a tower connected to the treehouse. I don't know. Let's do something. So the
not a bad idea.
I think when you're underwater, when you're in trouble, there is a point where admitting that you're stressed out,
you just want to breathe water,
and saying it. No, it's terrible advice. Shame on you. There's a point where it's super valuable to say, look, I'm stressed out. I need help. I don't know what to do next. And, we're watching this situation now where another hurricane's getting ready to come hit Florida.
Is worse.
There's going to be another big one. They're saying it's large, Category 4 now. It's bigger than the whole Florida peninsula.
It's going to hit all of Florida. They say most of Florida is going to have a bad storm, and the rest of Florida is going to have a really bad storm.
It's absolutely incredible how powerful it is. And I just hope as we go into this next couple weeks and this next couple months that we see a different level of cooperation out of our government than we've previously had for the sake of the people who are in the path of that storm. I hope they're safe. I hope there are fewer deaths. I mean, there were a lot of children killed in Harvey from flooding. A lot of young kids died. Babies died because they were drowned. And I think as a parent now, I hope and pray for those people that they are safe. I hope they've gotten out of the way. We talked about it a couple of weeks ago, like danger's coming, get out of the way, don't stick around.
And this time
don't wait and
see.
see.
There's a lot of people that are moving on.
And there's a lot of people moving right now, and we just hope that they're safe. And it's going to be a really hard time. And there's another hurricane coming right back after Irma. Now, where do we go? It goes, who knows, right? But look, that's a pretty bad start. Katrina, when Katrina happened, was defining for a generation of people. It was so bad. So I hope they're safe, and we'll watch the news and we'll keep interested. But sometimes when you're headed underwater, just ask for help. That's my best advice for the night, I suppose.
Well, like I said in the beginning, we're not sure where this is all going. I mean, probably not, but maybe everybody can just give us a suggestion, comments, where we should go from here, because chaos causes problems with schedules, and sometimes in life you have to reschedule things and reschedule your life and figure out where you're going to go from there. So, but thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next one, wherever that might be.
Have a great week.